Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for August 2023. So on August 30th, we have our last astro event for August, which is going to be very memorable, a little bit of a doozy. Of course, I'm talking about the full moon in Pisces taking place at 7 degrees, so a fairly new energetic chapter where this Pisces energy is concerned. And it will be peaking at 9:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending on where it is that you're at in the world, you may be actually experiencing this full moon in Pisces in the early hours of August 31st. Regardless, this is going to pack a powerful punch. We are definitely going to be feeling these energies days before the full moon in Pisces actually peaks. We have a lot to unpack here, and I think it's important that we start with understanding that, first of all, Pisces energy is at the end of the zodiac wheel. So this is going to be an ending, a closure, a completion point. In a lot of ways, the fact that it is at 7 degrees means that we are entering into a new karmic chapter that we'll be building and working with over the next 2 years. But the Pisces energy, being a water sign, being very emotional, very spiritual, very, very cleansing and transformative, being the Pisces energy connects us with our higher selves, our soul self, our karmic chapters, our soul contracts. So where the Pisces energy sits across from the Virgo energy, because of course we're in Virgo season, the sun is in Virgo, this is what gives us our full moon in Pisces. The Virgo and Pisces axis is the healing axis. Now you may hear some astrologers say that it is the service axis as well. I tend to want to step away from that particular concept because the healing axis makes so much more sense. The Virgo energy focused on healing the physical body, the physical realm, the mental plane that absolutely connects to how it is that we manifest here in the physical realm. The Pisces energy focuses in on healing our emotions, on our spirit. Now, this is on a soul level, and when we talk about Pisces energy, we often talk about shadow work. So that shadow work is the negative, heavier emotions that get accumulated in our aura, in our soul, in our spirit, and most oftentimes get repressed because, our ego self just doesn't have the time to deal with that particular concept, with that particular baggage. So more often than not, anytime we're dealing with Pisces energy, we are highly emotional. We are hypersensitive. And a lot of the time, because there are no boundaries in the Pisces energy, everything just kind of ebbs and flows together. We tend to take on subtle energies that don't even belong to us. And that's half the reason why many of us get overwhelmed when we have Pisces aspects, is because we don't have strong enough energetic boundaries in order to identify what is ours to experience and to feel and what belongs to other people. So in the Virgo energy, there's all kinds of boundaries. We compartmentalize everything. There is structure. Pisces energy, nope, it's free flowing. It's water. Think of Virgo energy being an earth sign ruled over by Mercury, ruler of the mental plane. Virgo energy has the ability to create boundaries in the physical realm, to compartmentalize things, to actually see what needs order out of the chaos, and the chaos being the Pisces energy. Virgo energy takes control and puts the emotions, puts the thoughts, puts the pain and trauma, puts the residual effects of karma in its place. Now, the Virgo energy rules over our day-to-day lives. The Pisces energy kind of rules over our entire spiritual health, not only from this incarnation, but from previous incarnations as well. Pisces energy wants to dream. It's very imaginative. It's very spiritual. It dreams about the possibilities because anything is possible. But the Virgo energy would prefer to deal with reality, what is versus what it could possibly be. Now, most of the time when we have moon aspects in Pisces, it's very, I'm going to say, mystical and magical, and yeah, always confusing, because the confusion is needed in order for the clarity to follow. But it's usually a very, I'm going to say, gentle flow, very imaginative, very inspiring. Not this time, guys. This time we are riding Saturn in the worst ways. Papa Sky Daddy there, he is riding us hard. They are going to have a conjunction. They're sitting next to each other, the moon and Saturn, the lord of karma. And you best believe that Saturn not only brings us down a couple of pegs, but turns on that seriousness, that soberness. He gives us a bitch slap of truth. He gives us a reality check. Of course, he loves us, but he loves us through giving us tough love life lessons to see how smart we are, how much we can learn, how much we can incorporate what it is that we've learned in our day-to-day lives. And of course, Saturn is currently retrograde in this Pisces energy, helping us to deconstruct and disassemble our old belief system, our old dreams, our old fears, our old doubts, our old insecurities, our old pain, our old trauma. So here's the thing. This full moon is going to illuminate for us where it is that we got to boss up, where we have to be a little bit more disciplined in our practice. What kind of practice, you may ask? Well, the Virgo energy needs us to put into practice taking care of our physical body, our mind, our body, our soul, while the Pisces energy needs us to focus on really kind of taking care of our emotional and spiritual self. So we need a spiritual practice just as much as we need a gym practice. We need a emotional, spiritual cleansing practice just as much as we need a physical body practice. That's that Virgo energy. So where we're kind of landing with this full moon in Pisces is that we are going to get a harsh reality check on where it is that we need to boss up, where it is we need to put forth more energy and effort, where it is that now we know better, where it is that we actually have to do better. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer, a little bit of a negative Nancy, but let me also just say it's going to feel very heavy and very weighted for good reason. Saturn is swooping in here to try and remind us of the emotional and spiritual weight, the karmic weight that we're carrying. And in the process of experiencing these heavier type of emotions and thoughts and recognizing where it is that we're being weighted down by other people's energy just as much as our own, we have the opportunity with this full moon in Pisces to kind of defrag the karma that is kind of off in the peripheral, but still very much hanging on into our aura, really connected, really bogging us down, really attaching us to the past, really preventing us from being as light and fluffy and free-flowing as the Pisces energy would prefer us to be. So if you download your moon guide, which I would hope that you're doing at this particular point in time to do the shadow work to actually align with the energies at play, you will notice that we are in another Earth dominant event. Now, if you've been doing the moon guides, you would say, yep, this is no surprise. We've been in Earth dominant events for a very, very long time now. And you would be right. And that's why we're having as much pressure and confusion and focus on our physical realms and what it is that we have to cut off, what it is we have to detach from, what it is we have to close the door on in order for us to start fresh, considering the fact that 2025, we have Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries energy, which is the fresh start of the zodiac wheel, where we essentially have the ability to create a brand new realm and reality. We have to be cleaning out the closets. And that's exactly what Saturn being retrograde, not only retrograde, but in this Pisces energy period is helping us to do, is to bring chapters to a close. Now, in the moon guide, you're going to go through the both positive and negative aspects taking place under this moon event. And of course, the negative ones don't mean bad. It just means it's creating tension and conflict in order to illuminate where change is actually needed the most. What I will say to you is be very cautiously aware of where it is that your egoic programming and conditioning wants to kick in and have you taking action and making moves out of fear-based narratives. What does that mean? Well, sometimes we're on the precipice of change and we recognize that in order to move forward, we have to let go of some aspects of the past. Just as we're on that precipice where we have to make a major move, that egoic programming is going to kick in and try and convince us of why it is that we shouldn't progress and move forward into new foreign territory, and where it is that it would be a safer play for us to just settle in where it is that we're currently at, make peace and accept where it is that we're at and just kind of stay here. The egoic programming is always going to prevent you from wanting to grow, wanting to improve, wanting to evolve. Your higher self is always going to push you to abandon those fears, those doubts, those insecurities, to do what your higher self is being asked to do, which is to pursue a path of happiness, a path of authenticity, a path of really honoring yourself. So there is this possibility where we could feel the pressure, the weight, so freaking intensely, where we actually act out from our ego self and create an action, a behavior, a conversation, a ripple effect that is based off of fear, based off of really preventing us from bossing up and moving forward. So it is going to be up to you on how you allow this particular energy to manifest. But let me just say that this is going to be a very heavily weighted full moon in Pisces that has the ability to free us up from a lot of that weight if you align with the energies, if you do the shadow work, and if you're real, raw, and vulnerable with yourself.